in solidarity to use. We'll put it out as a promotional video and asking for people at the bottom. We'll get some video whiz who can put it. Proxy vote. If you want to give me your proxy vote, I'll go in a Celtic onesie and a Neil Lennon mask, and I'll put the vote together and encourage other people to, instead of wasting their vote, we might lose it, but at least if we can do a show of strength, and then it would actually probably shame them, even although we would lose. I reckon, like you said the other night, Pat, I'm sure of yourself, that even if we united enough, like Glasgow Radio Online get a proxy, I go in there and register my vote, say here, I've managed to get this amount, Celtic Trust, maybe the Huddle Board, other places should do it, get your proxy vote, and we all go in there, says 10, 15, 20 people saying, right, boom, and then other people who are in the hall say, then you've got other people in the hall, you've got the people as a proxy. I'll go in there, try and get a fucking link so as we can all hear it. People put a question in. If we get enough people, instead of being clogged by probably PLC panty wetters getting to ask the question,
Tommy,
we'll fucking jam them. Hold on, Pat, we'll jam them with our questions. No,
we've got to go agency, we've got to crank this up. What we need is you. We need you in 1-1-1 for the next home game. We need the drums there, the next home league game. We need you with the drummer. We need you with the loudspeaker saying, all we are saying is pay the staff the living wage. John Lennon style, mate. Get the stadium singing it.
Saying is pay that staff a wage.
We'll work in the words. I had one there that I forgot about it. We'll get it going, mate. We'll get it going, and we'll just sing that. Get the whole stadium singing it for 90 minutes.
Living wage for the fucking living wage. I mean, it's sickening when you think.
Imagine 60,000 folks stand up for a living wage. Doing the huddle
for a living wage. Stand up for a living wage. Stand up for a living wage. And everybody standing up for the
doing the huddle for a living wage.
Doing the huddle for a living wage. Doing a huddle for a living wage.
Those 60,000 days it. Stand up for the living wage, the whole game.
Or here, and then how about the Green Brick Brigade, get a banner, living wage, pass it all around like we did with the Craigie White, so as it has to go over the cap of the fucking thing. We get it passed around so the bastards have to get underneath it.
Everybody's got to be involved. Pass the banners round.
Pass the banners round, get a banner, somebody get the banner for the Green Brigade, there you go, living wage, we did a huddle, doing a huddle for a living wage.
You're a man who's enjoyed a few Liga games over the years. You imagine 60,000 white hankies launched at that board, waving at them.
Aye, there you go.
Not fit for purpose. As I said, I tweeted earlier on, everybody in that stadium should take a mirror in and face it at the board so they can look at themselves. Sitting as millionaires.
That's right.
Sitting the person probably serving them their silver service meal is on less than they probably spend in petrol to get home in their vulgar SUV car and their heated driveway, mate.
You're right,
and that's the cold start reality of life, my friend, and that's not me rebel rousing or whatever. Nice people, they the way Celtic fans have done for 125 years.
With a bit of fun. With a bit of fun.
Aye.
A bit of joviality. We're doing it with a reason, doing it for a real cause, doing it to help social justice for people.
Because the unfortunate thing is that the people on Twitter, excluding myself, there's a lot better than me, the people on Twitter, the people on podcasts, like the Cali's for crackpots like yourself, the patter is on, the people have the patter, and the board have the bloggers. We have a couple of bloggers who can put a suit and tie on and talk about spreadsheets and finances and profit and loss. They've got the guns, mate, but we've got the patter, we've got the numbers. So they can sit there with their calculators and tell us how they can't afford it. They'll sit there with £1 million wages. Well, we've got souls working in that stadium, probably, as I said, probably working a job, with Celtic that as a second job, and then going to something with people who've probably never paid to watch Celtic in 30 years, probably never spent a penny, had free programmes, had free meals, had free guest appearances, been flown all over the world to represent the club.
And the real people, Parrot, and the real people who work there, the only time they get a wee bonus, alright, they all get took to Seville, right, but I mean, you would think so, but you think, I mean, they're probably on a pitting of a wage and they don't get a proper bonus and they probably don't get proper thanks. And the people, I mean, how many workers, here's another one, how many workers would Lawwell's wage take? For an example, if someone was to address Dermot Desmond and say, I'll do your job for a living wage. You give me the £7 thing and I'll do Lawwell's job, and imagine the difference in wage. So a living wage, so average what you getting for that? You're getting 20 grand out of that for a living wage for 40 hours. Is that 20 grand a year if that, or 20
I think it's apparent that it's obviously Peter Lawwell's driving it as a chief executive, and he's been told what to say and what to put out in a group agreement. I'm not just vilifying Peter Lawwell here. They're all involved in this sort of thing. So maybe, as I say, organisations like the Celtic Trust, people on Twitter, and as I say, and if...
It's not about vilifying Peter Lawwell. It's just identifying that he gets £1 million and that there's people working there. How many people's wages is that he's taking? He shouldn't be getting that. There shouldn't be someone there getting that, because what does he really bring, Parrot? What does he really bring that somebody who's on a...
The other thing I'll ask is what does his SF mean? Tony Cassidy will probably be able to duties with the SFA and his duties probably with SFPL. Does that entitle him to even more money? But he's probably working less at Celtic, although he's probably representing Celtic in some sort of description. He's doing less at the club. He's over and behind enemy lines at Masonic Lodge Hampden doing his stuff. So no, it's going to be very interesting. I think it's, God forbid me, that you try and look at a positive. I think any other time this might have sort of been brushed under, the board would have got away with it. But the fans in the last few days, and God bless every Celtic fan out there, because everybody's happy.
Stay there, Parrot, stay there, hold on. Are you there?
Aye.
All right, on the go. See if we can get again something that was cracking a wee bit now, and he goes.
No, I was going to say is that I think there's a collective group as a Celtic support. We've got to be, and there's a few folk out there who are still backing the board by saying, oh well, they're trying to absolute nonsense. Fergus McCann plucked the club up for despair. We've got a stadium there paid for. We've got everything in place. We've got multi-million pound players we should never have bought because they're shit.
Listen, hold on, Paddy, right? If I can give you an example, right? Hamas in Palestine, they were created...
I'm for the Predator, don't see what's going on.
Right, hold on. Right, they were created by the Zionists. Sheikh Yassin, the quadriplegic, who was eventually killed, right, by the Zionists, they helped fund and create Hamas when he was in an Israeli jail. And they did that as a way of getting at Yasser Arafat's Fatah party. Right? Now, Hamas, before they get the election in 2006, right, what they did, they began a social program, right? The Muslim bloc, the Islamic Brotherhood in Egypt, they ran a kind of social program, right? And that's what Celtic fans, and I'm using that as, maybe it's not the right example to use, but what I'm saying, right, to build a core support, right? Now you've spoke about, if you just hear me, I'll let you back in, right? And we've spoke about, not just you, but we've always spoke about the board and their bloggers and their friends. What we have to do is get our core support on this one right. So see, for the solidarity with the fair wages, we've got to push for that. We've got to establish soup kitchens, we've got to establish all different stuff and keep doing this, because and that in itself enhances solidarity, brother and sisterhood. We're helping each other out, and then slowly but surely we can build a base and maybe collectivise and unionise ourselves as a Celtic brother and sisterhood, where we're getting real positive change. And then maybe it might take a year or 2 years or 3 or 5, but the end goal is for Celtic fans to have more closer control of their club, because they know we're disenfranchised like anything, Parrot. We're on the outside, and the people who are running it, don't really have the best interests established. So we've got to get
the old board. I mean, the old board told me you could take their DNA back to the first meeting at St Maidens. You know, within reason. You know, well, that was my uncle, that was my granddad, that was my great granddad, and everybody in that stadium knew, apart from the legend that is John Clark and a few other ex-players like Danny McGrain, etc., who have been there their whole life and worked away. The people sitting in the shiny seats, you know, there's no many of them you could cut into and they'll be Celtic or they're more suited to you could close down that, you could enclose that boardroom and put it in the middle of Canary Wharf in the London financial district and it wouldn't be out of place. There's not enough champions of there's not enough dreamers in the boardroom for me, you know. There's just people that are grey money men, and that's no disrespect to them. Obviously the club's in the financial position is because guys like that are there. Some of the stuff they do is exemplary, but you know,
but hold on, Paddy, right? They're there selling packages over £300 for a day trip to Amsterdam, and they're guaranteed tickets for people who can stump that up. That's shocking. You're crackling, stay there, I'll phone you back, crackle my vision. Right, he's crackling, I'll let him marry crackler, isn't he? Crackle. Hold on. Right, here we go. Oops. Right, stay there. You're there, right.
You know, all I was going to say is, mate, listen, the good brother, the Buddhist Rebel, sent me a couple of DMs, mate. I'm on my phone, so as soon as I hang up after talking to yourself, Kelly, I'll respond to the guy. Thank you very much. No, all I was going to say is Tommy, these issues in the past have been superficially treated, whereas it's been, oh, well, Celtic, that's the way it goes, and whatever, but we now have focal points, two of them, a living wage, which is imperative to what's going on. There's issues with the way we're supposed to be treated and all that. But listen, if we can crack this living wage thing, it will be a victory for the fans. And hopefully there's maybe some fans. And listen, I wish it was one of them. Maybe fans who just went, well, Celtic, you know, it's what we do. And you just go to the games and you go home. And they're hopefully, God willing, getting their eyes opened to this absolute obstrosity. You know, we're no Chelsea, we're no Arsenal, we're no Partick Thistle. You know, the club itself actually promotes itself as being the same sort of thing as Brother Alfred started, as Jock Stein sort of had his relationship with the fans and valued every working class man in the ethos of what that entailed. That's sort of vanishing now, you know. That I've never walked in the front door at Celtic Park, I doubt I ever will. I don't know what
Hold on. You've never walked through the front door?
Oh.
Have you never been in the boardroom where they've got the big cup in there?
No, I go in there for. I'm up in church.
Oh no,
Celtic.
Paddy, no. You've not been in the front door.
No, I've no reason to go in there. That's not where I go.
Of course you have.
No chance. I've got to hear like my Celtics
Sure,
and that.
hold on.
Celtics people I sit beside.
Have you been in the dugout? Have you been down in the pitch side? Have you not done the tour?
They wouldn't let me in.
But hold on. If it's your club, you're entitled to do the tour like everybody else and walk in every place you're entitled to. The dressing room. I was on the pitch. I was on the pitch the night U2 played, and a great man when the jungle was getting renovated and seats were putting in. I think I was to this show. I did a blog about it last year. It was the fact my wee pal was up for Liverpool, and we did a tour to the football stadiums of Glasgow, and they wouldn't let us near Ibrox. We had a wee brisk walk around Hampden, and we got to Celtic Park, and there was a wee Irish navvy. He says, oh, what's going on? I said, oh, my two mates up for Liverpool, Michael and Tony. I was liking my wee walk about, just round the back of the jungle, and he went, oh, because I need to be in the park and have a look at it. And me and the two boys were walking about the middle of the park and walked through the jungle. Probably one of my greatest memories as a Celtic fan. That time me, I've no interest to see where Law walks in every day, mate.